My name is Hudson Stremmel. Here's my ID, and here are my note cards. Here's my audience. Way more than 5 people. All right. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about golf and having the right equipment. Coach Duncan once said that 70% of golf is mental, 10% is physical, and the other 20%, that's mental too. With so much being, golf is such a tough sport, and you don't want to make it any more difficult. That's why it's crucial to have the right equipment. Right equipment comes from their different kinds of clubs, from cavity blacks to blades to mixed sets to hybrids to graphite shafts to steel shafts. There's so many different options and so much variety. That's why it's important to have the right setup and what works best for you. Ultimately, with golf, it is what clubs look and feel the best in your hands, and that's just from what you personally like. No one else can tell you what works and what doesn't work. But there are different kinds that will work better for certain people. I have a couple examples right here for you. These are different clubs. These are called blades, and these are wedges. Forged though. What's different about these is different metals. That also plays a big difference in what clubs are right. Softer metal has better feel, which promotes more spin, which gives the player greater control of the golf ball. That's why they've two basic types of metals are cast and forged. Now, metals are the same, but what really changes is how they're made. Cast clubs are molded. It's like a Jello shot. You fill it up with Jello, put it in a mold, and that's what it comes. Forged, though, which these are, it's the softest metal around, is pounded from a block of steel. The big difference between these two is, like I said, feel before. But once you get past what kind of metal works best for you, you want to know what kind of blade and what kind of club that you like to hit. Caleb Lister, a pro golfer, was recently reported saying in Golf Now magazine that 9 out of 10 people do not have the right setup. They're not fitted right. This means lie, length, shafts, head shapes, whatever it may be, they're not fitted right. That's why it's crucial to get fitted. Now let me talk a little bit about lie. What lie means is it's this angle right here. This angle right here. What that does is it caters to how tall the person is and pretty much how they swing. The flatter it is, which will be like -2 degrees or what have you, is how flat your swing is or how you swing, the way you swing. Now, flat swing is more like this as opposed to upright. So the flatter you swing, the less amount of the less shaft angle you have. Ben Hogan, when we race golfers all the time, he had his clubs at 7 degrees flat, which is just unheard of. But then you can also have 2 degrees upright. And not only does it work with height, but it also works with, not only does it work with your swing, but it also works with your height. Taller golfers prefer sometimes more upright clubs. Now, you're probably wondering, how do you get them fitted right? How do you get it? What's the best way to go about it? What you do is, to measure your lie and your loft, you go to any golf store, golf headquarters in Reno, Ping, whichever it may be, and they put you on an impact board. And what an impact board does is you put a piece of tape at the bottom of the club face, right here, and you hit it on a plastic board. Where the mark shows on the bottom of the club is where your line will be. So, for instance, if the mark was more towards the heel, you want flatter clubs, and if it was on the toe, you want more upright clubs. Once you get past that, the next step is what shaft you want. This right here is an S300 by Dynamic Gold. This is pretty much your generic golf shaft, and you'll find it in wedges. But if you want to upgrade, this is a Project X shaft. It's more like Phil Mickelson uses it. What's better about these is they're a little bit heavier and it controls the ball that much more. It's important to know how heavy you want them as well. Some stronger players can go for 7.0. These right here are rifle 6.5s. But the stronger the player are, the more you want, the heavier you want them. Phil, I'm sure, could use 8.5, 9, whatever he wants. But it's very important to know. Once you get past that, the irons, then you can get grips. Now, there are different kinds of grips as well. There's tacky, there's rubbery, there's cord, which have little lines in them, like little string that give you better traction, especially in water and wet conditions. There's also mid-size, and the way you do that is obviously you have to what feels best to you. But another way is how big your hand is. The bigger your hand is, the bigger the grip you want. It all comes down to what best helps the golfer play his best or her best and what the golfer prefers. There's so many options and so many different varieties out there. It's important to get what is best for you and what you like. Again, golf is a tough sport. We don't need to make it any more difficult. So let's make the game a little bit easier and let's get the right equipment. Thank you.